Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Tensions between the U.S. and Russia are rising after a heated exchange of words last week, with President Donald Trump announcing the deployment of 2 nuclear submarines in response to what he called highly provocative remarks by former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. Trump made the announcement on social media, warning that words have consequences and stating the submarines would be positioned in unspecified appropriate regions. The move follows Trump's ultimatum demanding Moscow agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine or face severe sanctions. Medvedev dismissed the demand as theatrical, warning that such threats push both nations toward war. He also referenced the ominous dead hand nuclear system, raising alarms among defense analysts about the growing threat of military confrontation. In a major shakeup to public broadcasting, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, also known as the home to icons like Elmo, Cookie Monster, and Masterpiece Theater, announced it will shut down operations by September 30th after losing all federal funding. The move comes after President Trump signed legislation retracting $1.1 billion in funding through 2027, marking the first time in nearly 6 decades that Congress has denied financial support to the CPB. President and CEO Patricia DeStacey Harrison called the decision deeply disappointing, citing the efforts of millions of Americans who fought to preserve the funding. As the nonprofit prepares to close, a small team will stay on through January to handle compliance and remaining financial obligations. The closure deals a major blow to public media, particularly rural and underserved stations that rely on CPB grants to stay on the air. Americans could soon see relief at the pharmacy as President Donald Trump has given 17 major pharmaceutical companies a 60-day deadline to lower prescription drug prices, demanding they match the most favored nation pricing offered abroad. The move, announced last Thursday through formal letters, pushes drug makers to align costs for Medicaid, Medicare, and commercial insurers with prices seen in other countries, where medications often cost a fraction of U.S. rates. Trump, frustrated with what he called weak past proposals from the industry, warned of sweeping consequences for noncompliance, including expanded drug imports, export reviews, and even revoking FDA approvals. This aggressive push follows a May executive order targeting inflated drug costs. So far, the industry's leading trade group has not commented. A major toy recall is making headlines after a tragic incident involving a popular children's play set. Nearly 200,000 KidCraft farm-to-table model play kitchens are being recalled following the death of a 23-month-old toddler, who was strangled when his shirt caught on a hook in the playset back in February 2023. The Consumer Product Safety Commission and Backyard Kids, the vendor, say the kitchens pose a strangulation hazard if children climb on the counter or crawl through the opening in the back. The recalled sets were sold on Amazon, Walmart, and KidCraft's website for $120 to $270. While 192,000 units are impacted, only about 400 were distributed directly by Backyard Kids. The company is offering free replacement hooks and can be contacted at recall@kidcraft.com or by phone. So far, no additional injuries have been reported. A new global study may have just settled the debate on how much walking you really need to stay healthy. According to research published in The Lancet Public Health, logging 7,000 steps a day can slash your risk of death by nearly 50%. The analysis, reviewed by 31 studies, and found that people who walked 7,000 steps daily had a 47% lower risk of dying from any cause, a 25% lower risk of heart disease, and were 38% less likely to develop dementia compared to those walking just 2,000 steps. Lead author Dr. Melody Ding from the University of Sydney calls 7,000 steps a realistic and powerful target, but even small increases in movement like taking the stairs, going for strolls, or dancing can offer significant health benefits. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
When it comes to getting around Greater Boston, the T is the greatest value.
Yeah, you can save big compared to ride shares. I mean, there's no surge pricing, there's no tipping. How about no traffic stress?
You can park at any of the MBTA's lots and garages, and it's easy and affordable.
Just tap your phone and go. It's fast, modern, and convenient.
From Aquarium Station, explore Faneuil Hall, the Greenway and Carousel, and Christopher Columbus Park.
Or hop on an MBTA ferry for a scenic trip into the city.
Less stress, more savings, convenience at its finest. That's the T.
So many reasons to get on board.
Welcome back. Braintree American is just one win away from the Little League World Series. Representing Team Massachusetts, they dominated Team Vermont with a 10-0 shutout Monday morning in Bristol, Connecticut, securing a spot in the New England Regional Championship. Now, Braintree awaits the winner of the Vermont versus New Hampshire game for the title match on Thursday, August 7th. First pitch is at 7 p.m. and you can watch it on ESPN. It's officially back-to-school season, and just in time for back-to-school shopping, Simon Centers across Massachusetts and New Hampshire have teamed up with the nonprofit Cradles to Crayons to collect clothing donations for kids in need. At participating malls, shoppers will spot bright yellow school bus displays inviting them to grab a tag, shop for a new outfit, and return donations to a listed drop-off spot. In Braintree, the display can be found at South Shore Plaza near Macy's Selfie Wall, with donations accepted downstairs at the management office. The drive runs through September 1st, and all items will go to Cradles to Crayons, a Boston-based nonprofit dedicated to fighting childhood poverty by supplying essential items to kids from birth to age 12. The Delta Lodge in Braintree is also giving back in a big way this back-to-school season. The Lodge is hosting a school supplies drive every Monday throughout August to benefit kids in local communities. Donations can be dropped off at 403 R Washington Street, and the Lodge is asking for essential items like pens, pencils, backpacks, crayons, erasers, index cards, notebooks, markers, and more. Organizers say it's a chance to support students in need and ensure every child starts the school year prepared. The Braintree Parks and Recreation Department is inviting residents to enjoy a summer night at Fenway Park with a trip to see the Red Sox take on the Baltimore Orioles on Tuesday, August 19th. For $55, fans can get a seat in the left field grandstand and round-trip transportation from 74 Pond Street, with departure at 5:15 p.m. and return by 11 p.m. Space is limited, so those interested are encouraged to contact the Braintree Recreation Office to reserve their spot. The Braintree Senior Center is offering a full slate of weekly programs and special events for residents 60 years and older this August. Weekly offerings include daily fitness classes, men's coffee hour on Mondays, game day on Tuesdays, the Asian Outreach Group on Wednesdays, and movie day on Fridays. For one-day events, the center is holding bingo on August 6th at 1 p.m. Pool lessons with Kathy will be available at 12:30 p.m. on August 7th, and on August 11th, cornhole teams are meeting at 1 p.m. To sign up for any of these, contact the Braintree Senior Center at 781-848-1963. The Big Top is officially landing in Braintree as Flip Circus rolls into town from August 22nd to September 2nd at the South Shore Plaza. This high-energy, family-friendly spectacle promises jaw-dropping flips, wild stunts, and non-stop laughs that'll have your family and friends buzzing. Organizers say the show delivers electric, unforgettable entertainment that's far from your average night out. Tickets and showtimes are available now at flipcircus.com. Just note dates may be subject to change. Thank you for watching Braintree today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Heading into the city? Don't even think about driving.
The T is by far the best value in the city.
Park with ease at one of the many MBTA lots or garages with rates that beat anything in the city.
You just have to tap your phone or contactless card and ride. No machines, no stress. It's modern, fast, it's easy.
And the best part, you get dropped off steps away from where you want to go.
Hop off at Park Street, explore the State House, Boston Common, and the Theater District.
And don't miss a concert at the Orpheum.
Ride smart, ride the T.
So many reasons to get on board.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. After recent evaluations, South Shore communities are in the spotlight to meet national staffing standards for fire engines. Weymouth stood out as one of the only to meet standards, with all 4 engines staffed by 4 firefighters per shift, a level recommended by the National Fire Protection Association and upheld by acting Fire Chief Stephen Tilley for nearly 3 decades. While most towns, including Braintree, Quincy, Plymouth, and Scituate, fall short of the NFPA's guidelines due to budget constraints, the issue of inadequate staffing has taken center stage following a deadly fire in Fall River, where a shortfall of firefighters is believed to have cost lives. This has underscored growing concerns across the region about understaffed departments and their ability to respond to large-scale emergencies. A U.S. Department of Energy security specialist is facing multiple federal charges after allegedly attempting to bribe a colleague to steer government contracts to his private business. Prosecutors say 34-year-old Edward Doherty of Washington, D.C. and Weymouth founded a company called May Systems LLC just before joining the department, then offered another employee thousands of dollars to help secure contracts for it. The employee reported the bribe, and Doherty was caught on tape between February and June, agreeing to pay at least $10,000, making 2 down payments totaling $2,500 before his July 1st arrest. U.S. Attorney Leah Foley said the scheme undermines trust in public institutions and vowed to aggressively prosecute such corruption. If convicted, Doherty could face up to 20 years in prison. Quincy police have arrested an 18-year-old man in connection with a wave of car vandalism that damaged more than 30 vehicles across North Quincy. The suspect, whose name has not yet been released, is facing 63 counts of defacing or damaging property and was arraigned in Quincy District Court on July 31st. Officers began investigating after a surge in reports came in early on July 26th from residents in several neighborhoods, including Commander Shea Boulevard, Quincy Shore Drive, and Newberry Avenue. While police haven't disclosed what led to the arrest, they have previously asked for public assistance, including home security footage. Get ready to groove through the decades as Quincy's 70s, 80s, and 90s dance party is happening Saturday, August 16th from 2 to 7 p.m. at Hancock Adams Common, and it's totally free. This outdoor throwback celebration invites the community to dance, dress up in retro gear, and enjoy a jam-packed lineup. The Sidecars Band kicks things off at 2 p.m. with a tribute to the Cars, followed by Joyride at 3:30 p.m. for a live 80s mixtape, and disco legends Tavares headline at 5:30 with hits like Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. Food trucks and drinks will be provided by the Lunchbox Concessions, Trolley Dogs, Wahlburgers, and Hive Mobile Bar. The FBI's Boston Division is warning New England residents about a rise in phone scams, where callers pose as law enforcement or government officials to extort money or steal personal information. Officials say scammers use fear and intimidation, often threatening arrest, frozen bank accounts, or property confiscation unless immediate payment is made. Victims are typically told to send money through wire transfers, prepaid cards, gift cards, or cryptocurrency ATMs. The FBI stresses that no federal agency will ever call to demand money or threaten arrest. Officials also warn that scammers often spoof legitimate phone numbers to appear authentic. Anyone who believes they've been scammed is urged to stop contact with the caller, notify their bank, and file a report with both local police and the FBI's Internet Crime Compliance Center at ic3.gov. To confirm a call is from a real FBI employee, you can contact the Boston Division directly at 857-386-2000. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment. Welcome back to Braintree Today. This week in entertainment, we have 3 movies for you to watch. First, The Naked Gun follows Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr., who becomes a police officer like his legendary father and must save the police department from shutting down by solving a case. The film stars Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. You can watch The Naked Gun now in theaters. Up next, The Bad Guys 2 follows the bad guys who are struggling to find trust and acceptance in their newly minted lives as good guys, when they are pulled out of retirement and forced to do one last job by an all-female squad of criminals. The film stars Sam Rockwell and Mark Maron. You can watch The Bad Guys 2 now in theaters. And finally, My Oxford Year follows an ambitious American student who travels to Oxford in England to fulfill her dream, but encounters a charming local who changes both their lives. The film stars Sophia Carson and Corey Milcreast. You can watch My Oxford Year now on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. You can also now see us in high definition on Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.